This is Dr. Vaishali and I am reading from the book Substance of Homeopathy, book written by Dr.Rajan Sankaran. Chapter number 41, Naja proving and illustrative cases. Case number 1. As an example, I give this case of the man around 30 years with the cardiomyopathy and complaining of breathlessness on exertion. He is known to be very helpful but at the same time very malicious when wronged. Once he was called for a meeting to discuss a contract. But when he reached there, he found that the contract had been already awarded to his competitor and calling him was merely an eyewash. And he was so infuriated and was insulted too. He left the room, took an iron rod, and in the presence of all he completely smashed the car of his competitor and dared him to come down and fight. The other man sent a few local hoodlums in pursuit, but he turned around with the iron rod in his hand and fire in his eyes, and the hoodlums took to their heels. And this man, when he sat in my presence, was completely subdued, and all this was described by his brother, while this man just observed without the comment. And he improved remarkably with the Naja. Case number 2. Another case example that immediately comes to my mind is of the woman around 30 who came to me accompanied by her husband. She had an appointment, but for certain reason I asked my assistant with one other observer to take her case, and she took a long time to take the case. After that, my assistant told me that the patient is almost weeping and she had to wait for a long time. When I called her in, she was really fighting with the tears and very hurt. I asked her, what did you feel? She said, very offended. What was the exact feeling? I asked, and she said, I felt as if I am made a guinea pig for the learner of the student. And I asked, can you describe your feeling accurately? And she replied, I was feeling as if I am being steeped and also put under the microscope. Tremendous anger as if stripped in the public. At the same time, she could not express her anger, was subdued, and the nobility in her prevented her from the attacking. And so, she also had recurrent dream of cobra and strong fear of a snake. She improved beautifully with the Naja. Case number 3. A woman as age of 51 operated for the tubercular lymph node, has recurrence of lymph gland enlargement diagnosed as a TB, and she came with a severe depression with a sensation as if something is heavily moving inside her body, as if muscles are moving clockwise and anti-clockwise, something circular moving inside. Previously, she thought it was a spiritual energy, the Kundalini Shakti, and represented as a coiled serpent, delusion under superhuman control. This is the rubric I took, and she gave a history that she has done her duty towards her in-laws but had been neglected by her husband, who was involved thoroughly in his work. And the woman has a lot of spiritual ideas. She dreams of a god and snake, especially cobra, and she says that even in her waking state she had illusion of cobra with raised hood. She also feels neglected by her children who are married and settled. She feels wronged by the whole family and has attempted suicide a few times, and she likes rain very much. I have found that the Naja patients have either a fear of fascinations for the rain, and they can go into the state of brooding and severe state of depression. This lady was seriously affected by her husband's friendship with his lady secretary, and she also had several feeling and illusion regarding her past life, which involved marrying the same man. Her present husband in several past births. A theme of reincarnations is strongly associated with the cobra in Indian mythology. With Naja, not only the lymph node, which had been around 3 centimeter in the diameter, did subside, but her state of mind improved well, and she was very much joyful and cheerful now. Now, under the mythology, it is interesting how the mythological tales give a glimpse of the truth. Here are 2 Indian mythological tales which shows a remarkable similarity with the theme of the proving. One story is there is a cobra who used to bite everyone, so people were scared of it, and one day a saint made him aware of his cruelty and sins. The cobra repented for its behavior and became absolutely docile. When people came to know about the changes in the cobra's behavior, they started throwing a stone at it. And poor cobra, when the cobra asked the saint for advice, he said he did not told him not to bite. True, but that he could not hiss at them, so that they will also be scared, and so fear should be there. And so the theme is that if people take under or undue advantage, one also has to show that he will not stand any nonsense. Another story is once upon a time lived a Brahmin couple who did not have a child. After praying to God a lot, they got a child, but it was a snake, not human. Everybody, including the husband, hated the child. But the mother, how can she hate her child? And she loved it very much. And when the snake child grew up, she felt apprehensive where she will be able to get him married. And since he was a snake, and her husband wondered how he could get a bride for his snake son. And still he found a girl whose parents agreed to offer their daughter in marriage to his son, and not knowing that his son was a snake. Later, when they come to know of it, the girl refused to break the marriage, and in spite of knowing that her husband would be a snake, she readily married him. After marriage, every night a handsome man came out from the snake's body and made love to her, and in the morning again became a snake. One day the snake father saw a light and heard a sound from the daughter-in-law's bedroom. Being suspicious, he opened the door, and to his surprise, he saw a man sleeping beside his daughter-in-law and the lifeless body of the snake on the floor. He immediately burned the lifeless snake's skin. Then the man told him that he was really a human, but he had hurt a snake in his previous life. He was cursed to be a snake in his life, and that he could become a man only when his snake body was destroyed. Naja has the mentality of the snake. Being an animal, quality of animal are also found, which are survival, competition, sexuality and jealousy, etc. But the snake has a terrible disadvantage that it can only slither on the ground and other want to kill it. And it his strikes and inject venom. The specific quality of each species of snakes seems to come in part from the country it is indigenous to. For example, lacases which come from the South America, where people are extroverted, expressive, communicative and have a strong ego. Lacases has this quality, whereas Naja come from the Indian, where people are subdued, suppressed and wronged, but yet are known to be a spiritual, responsible and duty conscious.